Good afternoon, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. Prince Philip, husband of Elizabeth. Prince Philip is 97. He got into a huge car crash the other day. This is his Range Rover overturned. Okay, so that's a pretty hard crash. This is a Kia. Inside this Kia was a 28-year-old woman, her baby, and a 45-year-old woman. The 28-year-old woman got cuts to her knees. The baby was unharmed at this point. The 45-year-old woman suffered a broken wrist. Philip, after being freed from his vehicle, got out and asked, how everybody was. He appears to be mostly uninjured. So I'm going to read a little bit. It was astonishing that Prince Philip walked away from a car crash near his country estate in Norfolk on Thursday with no major injury, according to eyewitnesses. Those on hand, he was uninjured, but those on hand said there was blood at the scene after Philip overturned his Land Rover following a collision with a Kia driven by a 28-year-old mom with her 9-month-old baby in the back seat. It appeared as if there had been extraordinarily severe injuries, but fortunately the injuries were very light. People could have been killed. The impact must have been enormous. Okay, to overturn the vehicle, that's pretty serious. One of the royal entourage gave me a wipe to wipe my hands. Okay, there's also allegedly 2 bodyguards in the car. Okay, Philip has had a hip replacement, and he's typically in a wheelchair, okay, and he's retired from public life. Okay, he's officially retired. He's 97. Why in the world was this man driving? Why was Philip driving? Let's just ask and see if we see anything. Why was Philip driving? I mean, why wasn't one of the bodyguards driving? Why was Philip driving? That's probably Philip. Vale. No. Oh, so strange. So why was Philip driving? Man, Vale. Man, Vale. No, snake. Vale is hidden things. No is probably the crash. The man in the crash. 16 plus 13, 29. 8 hearts, water into wine, that's a drinking card, and snake. I'm wondering if he's like drunk, or was he on drugs? Was he impaired besides having a hip replacement and being 97 and typically being in a wheelchair? Because these could be drug cards. Was he drunk, or was he drunk? Was he on illegal drugs? Was he impaired? Was Philip impaired? Hamster wheel, butterfly, lovers, cornucopia. Hamster wheel is a long trip. Butterfly is very light. Lovers. So I asked, was he drink, on drugs. 12, 3 spades, cornucopia is everything. It was everything kind of fuzzing up his mind on this trip. So he's not particularly impaired. The whole thing is just weird. The whole thing is just too weird. Will Philip be found at fault? So this here can be drink and drugs, veil. Okay. So I asked, why was Philip driving? Why not one of his royal entourage? Why wasn't some of the royal entourage driving? Is Philip controlling? Is he extremely controlling? He insisted on driving? Did Philip insist on driving? Mother Earth. Scapegoat. 2 spades. Player. Okay. Every time I ask why he's driving, I get these really dark cards. Okay, so did Philip insist on driving? Scapegoat, Mother Earth, Broken Chalice, Player. 3 very negative cards. Cast Out, Broken Chalice. This is 22, 6 diamonds, hand in hand. Player's very selfish. Player wants to do this. Something is going on strange that Philip is driving. He's sick. Okay, so Mother Earth is probably his abilities. He's just very sick, and he just refuses to deal with it. There's all kinds of things wrong with him, and he's just not really capable of driving anymore. But he insists on driving anyway. And that's kind of, he's just all messed up. He's just like really old. Will Philip be found at fault? For the accident. Because it looks like she hit him and his car is overturned. It looks like a T-bone. Will Philip be found at fault? Goodness gracious. Plus, if he's got that royal entourage there, they're going to testify on his behalf, and they're all going to tell the same story. So, Crossroads, Straight Razor, Roadblock, Earthquake. Will Philip be found at fault? 10 spades is the worst outcome. Straight Razor is the impact. Roadblock, we got a road here. We got 2 road cards, and they're both 5s. 5s are change. So this is 11. 3 clubs, 3 blackbirds. This ends his driving from here on out. They're going to take his license away. No more driving. No more driving. There's a decision that there's no more driving for Philip, and that's the end. It's a bad end. So I think they're going to take Philip's license away because he's just too old to drive, and they're going to insist that someone else drive. There's all these people around him. He's got 24-hour bodyguards on him. Okay, so the big scandal, 10 Diamonds wants to pop out. The big scandal with Philip that has followed him is the death of Diana. The father of Dodi Fayed stated, let's see if I can find this. Well, let's read that. The Fayed. Okay, so over his 70 years in the public eye, Prince Philip has been plagued by one major scandal. After Princess Diana died in a car crash in '97 with her lover Dodi Fayed, Fayed's father, Egyptian businessman Mohammed Fayed, claimed that Prince Philip had ordered Princess Diana's death. Philip is the father of Charles, and Philip is supposed to be the Philip is apparently a good father. He's very loving and kind. His father, Andrew, was apparently a terrible father. And Philip, when he married Elizabeth, did not invite anyone from his family. Does that sound familiar? Meghan Markle. Okay, he did not invite anyone to his wedding to Queen Elizabeth. She was not queen at the time. Okay, so this is the same as Meghan Markle. Now, we never hear about Philip. So, was Philip involved in the murder of Diana? Because I did a reading on Diana, and I concluded that she was murdered. Was Philip involved in the murder of Diana? Because there's so many scandals around these royals. Okay, Jacob's Ladder, Karmic Shift, Sun, and High Tower. Okay, it's a corporate decision, big changes. 6, 5 and 1, 6. 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, 2 diamonds, diamond ring. He was involved officially in this huge change that, Sun is like an explosion, step by step. He was involved at every step officially, joined in this thing that just changed the whole world, in the death of Diana that changed the whole world like a bomb. Sun is like a bomb. So yeah, he was involved. He was involved every step. So he's going to lose his license. He was involved. Let's just ask, was Philip up to something? Because it's just so strange that he was driving. Was Philip up to some kind of secretive activity, like that he was driving? Was he up to some kind of nefarious activity? And that's why he was driving. Fox, 4-leaf clover. The man is 97, for heaven's sake. But you never know. Angel. Okay. All right. So was Philip up to some kind of nefarious activity? He's showing as an angel. Fox, 4-leaf clover, 3 hearts, roses. Okay, 12, 16, 19. 5 clubs. That's 5 clubs, crossroads. Okay, just the activity of driving. He's innocent. He wasn't doing anything in particular. He wasn't up to something. Okay, all right. Yeah, he wasn't up to something. He's not doing something weird or creepy and trying to sneak out. Okay, so we've got let's review. Okay, because I'm trying to understand what's going on over here. First I asked, why was Philip driving? Veil, snake, no. Man is an honest man. He's really impaired. All kinds of hidden things. car crash, lots of troubles. He looks like so impaired. Okay, and this adds 8 hearts, water into wine. He's just really impaired. Was he on drink or drugs? Was he on drink or drugs? Well, he's a little bit high. Butterfly is a little bit high on the road. But these are like prescription drugs. He's just very old and he's on probably several different things, several different contradictory drugs. I personally don't take any drugs at all because they're just going to kill you and they don't really help. Did Philip insist? Again, we got more negative cards. So it's more like just obstinacy. Philip is very obstinate. He's very impaired. These are very impaired cards. It's not like anything illegal. He's just kind of a little bit high. Here he shows as innocent. Here I said, did Philip insist? And we get more negative cards. So his body is just sick. 8 spades is the sickness card. He's really not able to do it because of his illnesses, but he just kind of insists. He's the player. Player is very young. Player is juvenile. Player is immature. He just is not going to let go of his right to drive. He just wants to drive. Okay, he's got all these illnesses. He's very impaired. He's got a broken hip. He's in a wheelchair, but he's just not going to give up the driving. He just insists. He's just not going to give up the driving. And he's on all these prescription medicines too that are messing him up, and really old, really slow response times, all of it. Okay, and old people can get really obstinate, really, like everyone should yield to them. And I think that's part of what's going on, because he was T-boned. His car is overturned. This woman obviously hit him and turned his car over. My goodness. Okay, is Philip going to be found at fault? Crossroads, straight razor, roadblock. This is the worst possible outcome. It's going to be a bad outcome for Philip. Straight razor, they're going to block his ability to drive. I think they're going to take his license. Okay, this is literally driving out on the road. It's going to be blocked and cut, and it's the end for Philip. I think they're going to take his license away. In previous scandals, the biggest scandal surrounding Philip is the murder of Diana. Was he involved in the murder of Diana on behalf of Charles, his son? Yes. He was officially step by step. This adds 2 diamonds. Diamond ring. Yes, this world-changing event that exploded on the scene, he was involved step by step, officially at the highest levels all along. So he was involved. Okay, was Philip involved in was he sneaking out for some kind of nefarious activity? At the ripe old age of 97, you never know. I think Camilla is still having affairs, and she's 70. No, he's an angel. He's an angel. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't doing anything wrong. 19. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just driving, and he's very obstinate, very sick, and very old. And that's what happens. And I'm not down on old people. It's just that he has so many other people around him who can drive on his behalf. He has 24-hour security. So there's really no reason for him to drive. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment.